Kourtney and Travis, Part 10. At this point, Travis is with Shanna Moakler, his second wife. Things had been going very well for them. One night, Shanna and Travis decided to get together because remember, they were living apart at this time. So Shanna came over to Travis's house and she brought over some fine wine and she went to go pour Travis a drink. But then Travis thought something was weird because Shanna didn't pour herself a drink. But Travis kind of just nudged it off until they went into Travis's bedroom where Shanna gave Travis a gift. Inside this gift was a little giraffe that was dressed in blue, and underneath the giraffe there were baby clothes that were also in blue and a baby blue beanie. Travis was in such shock and disbelief that he didn't even say anything for the first few minutes. Finally, Shanna told Travis, "Say something," and he said, "No way you're pregnant." He was stunned, but he could not believe that not only was she pregnant, but that he was having a boy, he was having his first child. He was so excited. But Travis states that his disbelief kind of came from the fact that he thought he couldn't have kids because at this point they'd been together for about 6 months. So like a month or two before that, they quit using protection and she wasn't getting pregnant. So Travis kind of got it in his own mind that maybe he just couldn't have kids. So to hear that Shanna was pregnant, this was amazing for him. And this news of her pregnancy really changed Travis's life. He started becoming committed to making himself more healthy, like the best dad. He wanted his little boy to be able to look up to somebody that was amazing, just like he looked up to his own father. And this is when Travis would start jogging and running like every single day. He started exercising, went to the gym, and he started learning how to box. He just wanted to be as healthy as he could, and he wanted to be tough for his son. Now at this time, Blink-182 would start going on tour for their latest album, their self-titled album, Blink-182, meaning Travis had to be gone for a few months, and this was hard for him because Shanna was pregnant, but he knew he had a job to do, so he went and did the tour. And when he came back from the tour, that's when he decided that he and Shanna needed to live together. So they all moved in together, and then at this point, he doesn't go into specifics, but he says he started spending a lot more time with Autiana. I don't know if she lived with them full time or if she was still living with Shanna's mom. I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure she was living with them. And he says Autiana at this point was only 4 years old. That's how long Travis has known Autiana for. And he developed a really good relationship with Autiana. He thought she was adorable. And that's when he realized that he liked kids and he knew he would be a really good dad. Then on October 9th, 2003, Landon Barker was born. Travis states that he couldn't stay away from Landon. He would just hold him for hours and stare at him, just amazed that he and Shanna could make such a beautiful human being. Didn't want to leave him for a second, was scared something would happen to him. He also states that he saw early on that Landon had the same eyes as him, and so looking at him was like looking at a mini him. And he was just completely smitten with his son, Landon. Look how cute they were right here, too. Around this time, Travis bought a Bel Air home that was still under construction because they wanted to build it and make it their own home. Not only did he buy this Bel Air house, but he also bought a home for his family, his sisters and his dad and his wife at the time, for them to all move in and be closer to him. This was also a really cool story he told as well. He says that his dad still had his Harley at this time, and I didn't share any of this, but his dad had gotten into a couple wrecks on this Harley, but his dad, as Travis would say, was tough as nails. He did not want to get rid of this Harley, like that was his baby. But Travis wanted to get rid of it because he wanted his dad to be around for a long time, especially because he had his own son now, and he wanted his own son to have a grandfather. So he devised a plan to get rid of this Harley, but also replace it with something cool. So you already know Travis. He has a bunch of connections, and he had connections to a TV show at the time called Payback. And the premise of the show is you gift somebody who has helped you through your life or somebody that deserves it. You gift them a car, something really cool, just as a way to show them thank you for, being there for me. So Travis got with them and they devised a plan to take his Harley but replace it with a Corvette. And they recorded it all on the show, which would be Travis's first appearance on reality TV, but certainly not his last.
The minute I heard I would have an opportunity to pay someone back, there was no doubt it would be my father. It was like a no-brainer. Being a father, knowing like you raise children, like you're responsible for them, like you help shape them, you help decide how they're gonna act when they go to school, how they're gonna act in social situations, like what music they're gonna listen to. I think you owe everything to your parents. I was always my dad's pal. He never called me Travis, never called me son, it was like pal. Same with my son with me. It's like his name's Bubbies. So we have cool nicknames and stuff. And I don't remember a lot of my childhood, like the years that my son is. Like my son just turned 3. So I think for the most part, I think those things are programmed in you. I probably do raise my children, you know, somewhat like my dad did without even knowing about it, just because I'm part him. Well, growing up, because I was a nightmare, a true nightmare, I think he didn't have any other choice but to be really stern with me and be very strong and not show me a whole lot of him and his friends or whatever, but just to kind of keep my butt in line a lot of the times. But yeah, for the most part, he was supportive, but at the same time, he reminded me, like, don't think you can just play in the garage your whole life and you're going to be a successful musician. Like, he taught me, like, you got to learn jazz, country, a million things. So he was good in that aspect, but I hated those things as a child. I never thought I'd embrace them. And as I got older, it's awesome to know about Buddy Rich or Louis Bellson or country artists. Like, you know, it's cool because a lot of my friends grew up just listening to hip hop or just listening to metal or something. So it helped, you know, shape me. I always, when I see a great drummer to me is someone who is feeling what they're playing. I see a lot of lazy drummers who look like they're having the worst time of their life. Like they're bummed they're behind the drum kit. And I never got that. Like I always loved being behind the drum kit. And I think I always migrated towards drummers who melted into their kit and had a way of expressing themselves through drums, you know? And that could be my only goal as a drummer, to let, you know, anytime anyone sees me play, they know I'm passionate about what I'm playing and I'm just not out playing notes or they don't mean anything, you know? So I think that would be my only goal. I have many goals as a drummer. I don't ever feel comfortable, I guess you'd say. I always have like another place I'm trying to go, you know, whether it be, you know, learning to program drums or sound like a program drummer, or right now I'm learning how to play with one hand so I can continue on so I don't have to sit home for 6 weeks. So that'll be a big accomplishment for me and it'll make me a better drummer as well. Everything I do is like a direct effect on the other thing I do, you know, like my drumming and where I get to go on tour and play for people, and I end up going skateboarding through those cities. That all inspires like my clothing line, which all inspires like writing songs or anything. So I couldn't imagine not playing music.